Aloha, friends. I am driving out to Clean, headed westbound, left way later than I usually do, and so I am sitting in traffic, currently going 12 miles an hour. But it's always beautiful in Hawaii. Little overcast today, but it's 83, and so that's nice. I'm sure it's a lot colder where the majority of you are watching. So today we're going to be talking about creating systems to reduce stress. Feeling a little stressed out right now because Christmas cards. We just got a whole bunch of Christmas cards sent out, but for our monthly ministry partners, we like to send them a little gift. So I'm trying to get those together. And last year I said, forget it, I'm not doing Christmas cards because I do not enjoy the process of it. It's a lot of work. It seems... That sounds ridiculous, right? But we're sending about 200 cards to different people. And that would be fine if no one moved, but we must just know a very mobile group of people. So it's, a lot of, I guess I'm just not good at data entry and stuff like that. And so even now with our ministry partners, I was trying to get that list together, and it's funny how sometimes you'll take time to figure out the best way to do it, and you should just do it instead of trying to figure out the best way to do it. So we had envelopes printed out, but we're sending a small gift, so we've got to switch the envelopes, but there's already labels on all of these, and I was like, all right, well, what's the best way to do it? Should I just go reprint labels real fast? That requires going to the office and making sure that the printer's set up. I've got to move a bunch of data into the different things and retype it and stuff like that. And then I got out tape, and I was just going to tape the envelope onto the bigger envelope since there was already postage on the envelope. And I was like, that's dumb. That's not going to work. And so then I was like, all right, well, I'm going to cut off all the labels with scissors on each one of these and then tape them on. And I was just like, just rewrite all of these in pen. So that's what I ended up doing. But of those, I don't know, 20 ministry partners there, so as I was writing out their address, I was like, these people don't live here anymore. This is an old address. So then I've got to contact them and figure out their new address and get that all worked out. So needless to say, I don't enjoy doing Christmas cards. So if you're getting one, it's a labor of love. Labor of love. Stephen Baker, what is up, man? Hey, message me your address. I want to send you a Christmas card if you're still watching. So yeah, thinking about just systems, it's like, how do I do this next year so it's not that big of a deal? So something we implemented this year even was Jess had a list because she did it all last year because I was like, I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. And so this year I sent out, an email to our 800 people mailing list and asked them if they wanted a Christmas card and asked them to respond with their address. And so I actually paid someone to help me compile those lists so that I didn't have to do that, which was a huge help. And they ended up printing up labels and putting stamps on envelopes and stuffing the envelopes as well. And then I had the letter printed out. But it just seems like it's always crunch time, right? So it's December, I'm headed out of town here soon, and so it's like, I got to get this stuff out. So how do I create this system so that this is not a big deal next year? Because I know I don't enjoy it, so how do I create a system so next year at this time I'm not hating it, and hate's a strong word, disliking it like I do now. So thinking ahead, right? Not suffering the same thing twice. I'm thinking that in January, I've got the labels. And we bought I think I bought 1,000 envelopes or something on Amazon. So it's just like, I've got labels. I'm going to print those labels out again, and I'm going to just attach them with return address labels so that the envelopes are already ready to go in January. And that way, when we send out the email, I think I'm going to start in October. I usually start in November. It's just like, let's start October 1st. Let's schedule a photo shoot October 1st to get that going. And then, get that email out like, hey, do you want a Christmas card? If you got one last year, you're going to get one again this year. If you didn't get one last year and you want one this year, you've got to respond with your address. That's always funny too with that email, because people respond with like their email address. It's like, I know your email address. I just sent you an email, but that happens multiple times. And then I'm like, no, I need your physical mailing address. And sometimes people still respond with like, yeah, here's my email address. It's like, what's happening right now? I don't get it. I'm sending you a physical mailing card. Anyway, doesn't matter. So I'll get that email out in October, and that way we can compile all the addresses. I can, order the cards in October, and that way we're just backing it up so it's not feeling rushed. And then maybe just like Thanksgiving, that'll be our Thanksgiving evening routine or something like that, just to knock those all out and have them ready to go and get them in the mail December 1st, something like that. So I think just even having a checklist ready to go October 1st instead of November 1st is going to help me out a lot. And even just have all of the supplies staged and ready. So that's something I actually did with my taxes. We have to pay in quarterly, and once a quarter, it's always like, where's my checkbook? Because who writes checks, except if you're writing them to the government? It's just like, where's the address for state? Where do I send that? Where's the federal one? Where do I send that? Where's the tax voucher slips, where's that, all this stuff. And it just like takes half a day to figure all this stuff out. So what I ended up doing last time I did it, last quarter, I was just like, I'm just going to batch process this. I'm going to write the checks right now because I've got all the information right here. I'm just going to batch process this and set them somewhere where I remember it. So the tax vouchers in there, the things already addressed, and the checks in there as well, so that when it comes around, for that time to send it out the next quarter, all I have to do is grab an envelope that's already ready to go, take that to the post office, and it's a much, much, much easier process. Batch processing. So that's what I'm trying to figure out with the Christmas cards as well. Let me know what you batch process, and if you've created systems that reduce stress. That's what I'm thinking about. I think I've made a little bit of progress here with driving. I think I'm driving about 15 miles an hour now, which is great. So that's what I've been thinking about today, is how do I create systems to reduce stress? All right, guys. Stay hopeful and keep after it. All right, guys. See ya. I think I change that up every time. Those four words. I think I usually say keep hopeful and stay after it. I think that's what I'm supposed to say. So, I don't remember what I just said. Stay hopeful and keep after it. There it is. Stay hopeful and keep after it. All right, guys. See ya.